credit for doing quiz number 7. So whenever I make a mistake and forget, you only benefit. It's never, it's always good for you if I forget to bring my quiz. You get the practice without any deleterious effects to your grades. I forgot my glasses too. Guess I'll be squinting. Okay, I know I'm just about to move this, but I'm just going to move this up just a bit. And then there's problem number 1 and problem number 2. And for both of them, you're computing the mean, median, and mode. And then there's a problem number 3 that I'll show you in a bit. But at least I've got the first 2 problems up here so that you can see them and enjoy them and do your best with them. So all you really need are the numbers. So you don't have to kind of copy the words. Let's see. It's not here. Marlene's not here. Noah's here. Sorry. Stopped working. Okay, I know some of you are done. I'm moving it down to the 3rd picture in just a minute, or the 3rd problem. Give me a minute. Get this set up. So there's the 3rd one. Let's see if I can get it all on here at once. Just a sec. There's the first 2. Okay. Yeah, good enough. Okay, yeah, so they're a little small now, but hopefully you copied down the numbers up there for the first two, and then there's the third one. So maybe it's good that I forgot, because this is going to take you a little bit longer, and I don't want anyone to be discouraged. So it's good practice, though, for the test. So it's going to benefit everyone, I think. Come on. Which quiz is this? Okay. All right, let's see how we're doing with this. I know I didn't give you as much time as you probably would like, but some of you are done. Some of you are like, I don't know what to do. So here's the deal. Here's the deal I'm going to make with you. I've just got the grades typed in, but I haven't hit enter yet for this quiz. So what I'll do is I'll go over this, and if you fix whatever you got wrong, then I'll assume that you got 100. And if you want me to, though, if you decide that you don't deserve 100, let me know, and I'll change it. But if you fix what you did wrong, then I think that you've made it into 100, and so you're good. Okay, I'll do my best. I don't have my glasses, so I'm going to be squinting a bit. So I'm going to have to zoom in really far because that's what old people do, right? Okay, so the first one, we have this list of points. We want to find Chonka's average. Okay, so the average, give me a sec here, didn't do this ahead of time. Let's see, we have 21 plus 20 is 41. 51, is that right? So we have 51. Ooh, that was a big red blob. Okay, so the average should be 51 divided by 7, is that right? So whatever that is, so it's going to be a little over 7, 7.3, something like that? Yeah, we'll go with that. I'll do this, 7.3, good. So did you get it right? If you didn't, fix it, and then it's right. Okay, for the median, it's the middle number, right? Oh, no, don't do that. That's not right. No, you have to put them in order first. You knew that, though. No one did what I just did. So put them in order. 9, 9, 10. And now the middle number is 7. So the median is 7, and the mode is also 7, because it's the most common. So that one wasn't too bad. All right, so that one, I'm guessing everyone got 100% on that one. If you didn't, though, now's the time to fix it. By the way, the reason I do this for you is to give you plenty of opportunity to, I know I joke about it saying it's opportunity to fail, but it's frequent low-stakes assessments to allow you to learn the material, because it's only through doing it and maybe getting it wrong that you learn it, and it's much better to get it wrong on a quiz than on a test. So thanks for putting up with this. Okay, the next one. In order for me to do it quickly, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a new column here. But you know the drill, hopefully you remember from last time, is you multiply the number of siblings by the frequency. Instead of, because what this represents is there are 3 zeros, and then there are 8 ones, and I could just on my calculator type +1, +1, +1 8 times as I'm adding this up. But that's the same as multiplication. So this is going to be sibs times frequency. 0, of course, because 0 times 3 is still 0. 1 sibling times 8, so there's a total of 8 siblings there. This is 12, this is 12, and this is 7. So then I'm going to add those up. and that's going to be 20, 32, 39. And then finally, the average will be the total number of siblings, once you add them all up, which is 39, divided by the number of people, and what is this? You've got 10, 18, 22. Does it say? It doesn't say. So 22, I guess that's how many we have. So that's a little under 2, 1.8 or something like that. I'm just going to leave it as a fraction, though. Did I get it right? Okay, so no one's complaining. So far, so good. The median, because there are 22 people in this class, the median will be between the 11th and the 12th person. At first, you might say, how do you know that? Well, if you think about it, 22 people divided into 2 groups will be 11 on each side. So you have 11 people down there, 11 people up here. We want to know who the 11th person is, which is the last person in that group, and then the 12th person is the first person in this group. So just take the number of people, divide it by 2, and if it comes out evenly, just imagine dividing up the group into 2 pieces. And so let's see, that is going to be right here. If I draw that line, notice that above that line I have 11 people. 3 plus 8 is 11, and below the line I have 11 people. So the median is going to be right there between those 2 groups. And so the last person in this group, so you have the siblings, the only children, people with 1 sibling, and then the last person in this group over here is going to have 1 sibling, and then we jump over here. The first person in this group has 2 siblings, and so the median is going to be right between them, 1.5. So that one was a little bit harder, and then the final one is that the mode is, hopefully everyone got this one right, is 1, because there are 8 people that said that they have 1 sibling. One of the things that is difficult when you have a frequency distribution is understanding which column you're dealing with. Just bear in mind that this is just the frequency. It's the number of times people said. This is the actual data. Siblings are the data. That's the data that we're interested in. Whew. Okay, any questions so far? Everyone's okay? So far, everyone's got 100%, right? And if you didn't get something right, you fixed it, so you still have 100. Okay, I'll ask at the end if anyone thinks that they don't deserve 100 at the very end of this, but I mean, like, my goal is not to give you a bad grade. My goal is to have you learn the stuff. So I don't even care really about the grade. I know you do. Okay, so this, I get this hint here, but that's just a reminder of what you did on your homework. I hope, if you did your homework, more about that in a minute, is you find the midpoint of each of these. So the midpoint, I'm going to put right here, midpoint, is going to be a stand-in, or a, it's going to be taking the place of whatever the answers were. So we don't know how many absences these 8 people had. Some of them might have had 0 absences, maybe 4 absences, but we're just going to say that every one of those 8 people had 2 absences. Just like, whatever, good enough. And then these 7 people, we're going to say that every one of them had 7 absences, because that's the midpoint of this range. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do, is I'm going to figure out the midpoints, and then I'm going to do the same thing I did up here, multiply and add. So this is going to be midpoint times frequency. So this is 16, 49, 36, 2, 8, 68, and then 22 is easy. Oh no. Okay, give me a sec here. I can do this. I can do math. So that's 90, 90 and 126, 136, 142, 182, 191? Is that right? Okay. Well, this reminds me, Sunday nights I always play games with my mother-in-law and my wife. We have a standing date with my mother-in-law because she's an old woman and doesn't have anyone. But anyway, so we play games, and they always give me the score. Like, it'll be a string of numbers like this, and I have to add up the scores, and so I do it. I've got a lot of practice adding numbers that look like this. It really feels familiar. Anyway, so 191 divided by, how many do we have here? 15 plus, what is that, 8? So 23? Is that what I'm getting? So there it is. So I don't even know what that number is. It's, what is it, 9 or something? But yeah, it should be around 9. But if you have the fraction, you're good. Okay, so let's go back to the top of this thing. Here's the original quiz. You've got your name at the top of your paper, And if you got 100 after you fixed it, you can put 100% on there. If you want, you can put a star on there or maybe a smiley face, whatever it will help encourage you. So here we go. So does anyone want me to not give you 100 for any reason? Oh, you know, that really?
Can I get a 200%?
No. Okay, so I suppose that you might be embarrassed, so you can come talk to me later. I'm just gonna click this. It's fine. There we go. So everyone here got 100 on that quiz. Good job. I'm so proud of you. Okay, onward. We do need to move on. We've talked about Joshua 1, 8, and 9. And so today we get to move on to quartiles, percentiles, and other joyful things like that. This is going to be fun. Normally I rely on being able to see the little thumbnails to see what's coming up, but the closer I get, my eyes, I can see you just fine. Okay, we'll just do our best here. Okay, so intro to statistics. Pi doesn't have anything to do with this. It's just you can pick the PowerPoint design that you choose. Okay, so we're going to do percentiles and box plots and some other things. So announcements, just some reminders. So with Newton, I didn't update the grades this weekend. I did it last week sometime, but I will update them, especially after the first test this coming weekend. I'll be updating everything because you'll have your first exam and you'll be able to see, okay, this gives you a better picture of where you stand in the class, because all that we have now is just some homework and quizzes. Once we have the exam, there'll be a better. But just wanted to remind you, please do your homework. Do your Newton. If you do it early, that's great. Like some people are like, can I go ahead? Well, if I've got my act together and I have some homework up there, you want to do it early? That's fine. I don't care. Do it in class. It's okay. I don't like it. Oh, actually, you can't because I told you not to use your computers in class. Great. But like before class, how we have some time before class, maybe feel free. It's not great. Do it late. It's okay, but you lose points unless you're special. There are a couple of people here who started late because they didn't get their act together in terms of or they had problems signing up or whatever. I will fix your grades if you're in that boat. I think I know who you are, but if you're worried and I don't fix your grades by the time I deal with the grades on Friday or Saturday, you can let me know. So, you lose some points. Not many, though. It's better than not doing it at all, because even if you get like 50% on a homework assignment, it's better than a 0. And then if you don't do it, that's super bad. So don't skip the homework. Okay, so what else do we have? Announcements. So homework help videos, just so you know, that on Moodle, I just wanted to let you know that they're there. I think I've told you about this, but I can always add more. I don't know how helpful they are, but people have asked for them at times. Some of them are 5 years old or more, and so if it's stale, if you look at a video and you're like, this video doesn't make any sense anymore, given that the assignment has changed or whatever, then hey, let me know and I'll do a new one if it's helpful. So if it's old and it needs to be retired, let me know. I can delete and add or fix or whatever. So exam 1 is this Friday. If you are going to be absent, I know that there are people who are on the badminton team who I know you're traveling on Friday for games. Let me know ahead of time so that we can work it out and we'll do the testing center. But I need to know ahead of time because the testing center has changed their policy and they're a little bit more, they've gotten a little cranky about people just showing up. So I want to make sure that I schedule appointments, let them know who's coming when and so forth. And same thing if you're, if you're supposed to get special whatever it is for testing, let me know and we'll deal with it. It's fine. Okay, so that's enough of that for announcements. Today we're going to deal with measures of position. So we dealt last week, it was where's the middle? Where's the middle of the data? Now we're going to say how spread out is the data? Where do you fit in? Each one of you fits into my data somewhere. You have a certain number of siblings. Where are you? Are you low number of siblings, high number of siblings? How unusual are you? And we're going to be able to answer those questions here in just a bit. So we're going to use percentiles and quartiles and z-scores. Now, actually today, to be honest, it's just percentiles and quartiles, and with a focus on the quartiles. If we can get through the quartiles, the percentiles will be okay. So we'll deal with those. We might even wait till Wednesday to deal with, test is Friday. It's okay. We'll work it out. Sorry. I'm just backing up one slide for just a sec. Forgot to mention, I think. I better not speak before I check. I think I've got practice exam online yet already. Let me check. Here it is. Come on. Move. Yes, there is. Okay. Yeah, when you go on our Moodle page, down at the bottom, there's practice exams, and there is a test one practice. It's basically an exam I gave last year sometime. No answers up there yet. I'll get those answers there before Friday. So that's something that you can look at perhaps even before Wednesday I'll have the answers up. So just something to note. Okay, so let's deal with what's called the 5-number summary. Oh wow, this all showed up at once, but it's the way it is. So 5-number summary is a summary of numbers that we can say about a data set, and it allows us to sort of get a feel for what that data set looks like without doing too much work. So there's the 5 numbers that are involved are the minimum, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and the maximum. So let's just talk about quartile 1 and quartile 3 because they're pretty straightforward. If you know how to do a median, then you know how to do these. And the reason is that the quartiles are just the median of the first half and the second half of the data. So once you've chopped your data in half, the quartiles are just the medians of the 2 halves. And it's kind of like if you were trying to cut a big brick of cheese or maybe a big brick of chocolate, might be more appealing to you, into 4 pieces, and you wanted them to be even, you would cut in the middle first. I mean, this is the way I would do it. Maybe you do it differently. Cut it in the middle to make 2 halves that were as close as possible, and then you go to the first half, chop that in half, and then go to the second half and chop that in half. So that's at least my strategy for trying to cut a brick of chocolate or a Twinkie or, I don't know, donut into 4 pieces. Well, donut, that's circular. But anyway, so we're going to do the same thing here. Let's deal with the foosball team. The foosball coach wants to know the average number of points scored by the team in their last few games, and their scores are listed below. I want the 5-number summary. So first things first, we need the way that I would go about this is I would first do the median. So find the median first. So take a minute, find the median, and I will find a random person. Because I know you all know how to do the median. And I'm just going to switch over here so I can write a little easier. Well. Try again. Sorry, it's taking longer than I thought. Okay, that's better. Here's the numbers in all their glory. All right, let's get started. Kylie, you know how to find the median, don't you? What's my first step? That's right. Put them in least to greatest order. By the way, you could go greatest to least. It'd be basically the same thing. Let me see if I can do this. And then let me know, though, Kylie, if I get anything wrong. So I'm going to start with the 8. Is that right? 8, 9, 11, 13, 15, 19, 20. I'm always worried that I missed something. So maybe if I could count them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I got them. I think I got them all. Did I make any mistakes? Okay, so line them all up. Now that I've done that, Cooper, what do I do now that I got them lined up?
Find the 2 middle numbers and then pick the one in between.
2 middle numbers?
Yeah, we have an even number. So
oh, yeah, that's right. Since there's an even number, there's going to be 2 middle numbers. It's kind of a pain. There it is, right there. So, yeah, when there's a small number of data, it's usually pretty easy. You can just eyeball it. You don't have to think or calculate anything, really, other than to say, oh, 14 is here, isn't it? So there's 14. So that's the median. Let me write that down over here. The median is 14. Next thing that I would do is to come up with the quartiles. And the reason is, quartiles are pretty easy once you know how to do a median. And apparently you all know how to do that. So let me find someone to do the next one. Lily, do you know what the first quartile is? It's going to be the median of this first half. Do you know how to compute what that is going to be?
10.
Yeah, it's 10. Where did you get the 10 from?
Because we have an even number in the first half.
Oh, that's That's right, an even number again. It's so annoying, isn't it? But yeah, it's an even number, so we're going to just draw the line here, and it's going to be the average of those. Very good, very good. Okay, and then the last one, I know you can all do this. Diego, what's the third quartile?
19.
Where'd you get 19 from?
19 plus 19.
So it's the same deal, right? There's an even number. If there's an even number on one side, there's going to be an even number on the other. So Diego found that middle number. It's between these two 19s. So yeah, there it is, 19. Very nice. Finally, the last two bits for this 5-number summary are the minimum, which is 8, and the maximum. Once you have your numbers in order, they're pretty easy to figure those out. So there it is. Let me go back to this. So we've got our 5-number summary, but let's see if we can do this with a slightly more difficult situation. So here is a 5-number summary for a survey that I conducted a year or two ago, and I asked my class, I asked them, how many classes are you taking? So you know what this means. It's like you might be taking 4 classes this semester or 5 classes this semester, or, and this is actually data that I collected, there was someone taking 8 classes. I think you can probably guess what their major was. I don't know, maybe. Did anyone guess what that person's major was? Who was taking 8?
Engineering.
Oh no, it was not engineering. No, they can't take 8 engineering classes.
Ministry.
No? No. Okay, I guess no one, any music majors here? Yeah, music, they have like all these little 1 credit or 2 credit, 1 or 0 credits. Like, if you count all the ensembles, if those are class, which they are, there's a whole bunch. But anyway, so there they are. So let's see if we can get the 5-number summary for this set of data. I'll give you a minute to work it out yourselves, and then we'll do it together. Ooh. Good. I just realized I hadn't looked at my microphone, whether it's recording. It's always discouraging to get halfway through the class and realize there's no sound on the recording. It's a little hot, though. Let me turn it down. Yeah, if you're ever watching the videos, which I know no one does because I can see my analytics on YouTube, but if you're ever watching the videos and you're like, that mic sounds terrible, let me know. I can work with, maybe I need a new microphone. I'm just using the built-in mic today, which isn't very good. Okay, let's see, switching back. Minimum. All right, let's go ahead and do this together a little bit and see if we can work this out, because this one's a little harder, isn't it? First of all, there's way more people in this particular survey. Abby, but I bet you can figure out what the median is, even without doing too much math, can't you?
5.
Yeah, it's 5. And now, technically, what we should do to find this, now I'm not sure what Abby did, so I don't want to accuse you of doing it the way I'm about to do it, but I'm looking at this and I say, look, there's a huge lump of people in the middle, 11 people who answered 5, and there are not many people on either side of them, so probably the median is in there somewhere. So if that's what you did, good job, because that's one way to do it. But let's do it the sort of the quote right way, just to make sure we can. This is going to be 25 people. So if you can imagine where that middle person is, take 25 divided by 2, and you get 12 and a half. So the middle person is standing here with 12 people to their right, 12 people to their left, and that's in the middle. So we need to know who the 13th person is. So going through the list here, you've got 2, so there's 2, and then there's 7. Each of these check marks is like a person standing in the line. And then, so that's a total of 9 people, and then 10, 11, 12, And so there's 12 people, so the 13th person indeed is 5. So there's the first 12. Then you've got the median. I'll put M for median. And then let's see, how many more? Because we're going to need this for the quartiles. How many more? So you've got 3. If you can imagine, this person is standing here. To their right are 3 people who have 5 classes, 7 people with 4 classes, and then these slackers down here, 2 people with 3 classes. And then to their left, let's see, there are a total of 11. So that means there must be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people over here that have 5 classes, and then 4 people who have 6 classes, and the music major over there with 8 classes. Okay, so with that here, I'll even put check marks if it'll help you, and then 1 person. So maybe that'll help you figure out what the quartiles are. 12 and 12. So let's see who we get. Who we get for the quartiles? Next person, Amy. Amy, do you have any ideas for either of the quartiles?
For the Q1,
It's
it's 4.
4? You sure about that? No, you're sure. So how did you do that?
I found the middle and either side is 4.
Oh, very good, good. So it's 12 people. Like there's 12 people over here standing in line. So you go to the middle and you're like, well, the middle is between 2 people. So you're there and you're like, okay, you 2, separate. So how many? That's a 4 and that's a 4. Because there's 12, there's 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the left of that person at the quartile, or where the quartile is, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the right. Very nice. It's beautiful. I didn't mean to scare you that you were doing it. I sometimes do that. Just, I don't know, because it's who I am. All right, let's do quartile 3. Let's see if we can do that one. So we have, I'm sure you can, Bailey. You know quartile 3, don't you?
Yep, it's 5.
Wait, no, the median is 5. So what's quartile 3? It's also, is that even possible? I guess it is, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're right here, 6 people. And then the person on the other side is also a 5. You're averaging together 5 and 5. So it's possible to have a median and a quartile be the exact same number. Isn't this? Good job. Okay, the last one, I won't even ask for this because you all know that the minimum is 3 and the maximum is 8. So there's my 5-number summary. Now, what are we going to do with this 5-number summary? That's going to be important. But before we do that, I need to mention one thing about percentiles. I can't see the thumbnails, so you're going to have to bear with me as I kind of find the slide that I'm looking for. But the reason why I want to do this is because if you have a data set like this, let me just show you this one. Yeah, this is so these are ages from my spring 2022 classes. Look at how many there are there. Where is the median? Where are the quartiles? You know, if you want to know where they are, it'd be nice if we had a formula. So there is a formula. So let me show you the formula. So this is the formula. I know it says percentiles, but it's the same as the median and the quartiles. So percentiles, if you have some number of data, so you know how many data you have, the formula for the location, this is the position, where is the pth percentile? I'll explain in just a second. So the pth percentile will be at this position. You take p% and then multiply it by 1 more than the number of data. So here, check it out. With the data set that we had just done, so n was 25. You remember that, 25? And so let's say I want to find the 75th percentile. So Q3 is the same as the 75th percentile. Percentite? No, it's not like Hittites, it's percentile. Whoa, it's just appearing here, sorry. Percentile, that's better, whatever. I just didn't want to have to write the word and I ended up shooting myself in the foot. But anyway, so Q3 is the 75th percentile. So if I want to find where it is, and if you think about it, if you're dividing into fourths, you have 25%, then 50%, then 75%, and then 100%. That's sort of the fourths that you have. So that's why I say that Q3 is the 75th percentile. So I'll take 75% times 26. And when you multiply this out, 13 plus 6.5 is 19.5. Wait a minute, is that right? 13 is half of 26. 1/4 of 26 is 6.5. Yeah, 19.5. Okay, so in other words, 19.5, it means that I'm between, so it's not an integer, I'm between the 19th and the 20th person. Does that work out? Sorry, I'm just nervous. There it is. So let me think. The 19th and the 20th person, let me count. But bear with me, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, that's right. 19 and 20 is right there. There's those two that Bailey found for us, averaging together those two. So that's how, if you have a large data set, all you need to do is figure out where is the, oh, we could do the same thing. What about the 50th percentile? The median is the 50th percentile. That's going to be 50% times 26, which is 13. So it's the 13th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, so nice. So it's just a nice shortcut to help us figure out where the quartiles are. Yeah, by the way, your homework, I believe your homework is all quartiles. I don't think there's percentiles on the homework for Wednesday. But if one slipped on, it's fine. You can figure it out. Okay, so let's use this. You know what? Let's just use it to find the quartiles for these ages. I know it says percentiles, but let's find the 5-number summary. Number summary. So no percentiles. And in particular, you need to know how many people there are. I believe these are in groups of 10, but I better check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, these are groups of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 79. So in here, in is 79, just to help you out. So use that to help you find the location. So you find the location of the median, 50th percentile, the quartiles, that's 25% and 75%, and then actually count through and find them. I'm going to put this on Notability so I can actually write on it without being irritated. Yeah, work with a friend if you need to. It's good for you. There we go. Copy and delete. And bear in mind, these are in groups of 10, so they're in. So that'll help you do your counting. All right, if you're in the middle of counting on the screen, I'm about to change the screen. Just to warn you, I'm going to leave the numbers up there. It's just going to look a little different. Sorry. There you go. This way I can write over here. All right, let's do this. We can do this. Noah, you know where that quartile 1 is, don't you?
18.
18? Wait, how did you get 18?
That's it.
Oh, yeah, it's the actual answer. Okay, go ahead. Tell me how you got it.
I took the 25% times the 79.
Plus 1.
And then
Yeah. So let me write it down. So 25% times 79 plus 1. So always add 1. Don't forget to add 1 to the number that you have here. So it's always going to be n plus 1. And then what did you get when you did 25% of 80? You didn't. Yeah. What's 1/4 of 80? You can do it. 20. Very good. Okay, so according to Noah, the first quartile is in the 20th position. That's the location. That's where it is. So you do 25%, 0.25, 1/4, 25% of the number of data plus 1. And then we're going to find this over here. So let's find another. I know no one knows what it is, but let's just find another. Haley knows what it is. So what number is in the 20th percentile position? So as you count, there's 10 numbers up here.
Yes. 18.
Yeah, so it's this 18 here. So that one in particular. Very nice. So that is the first quartile right there, 18. All right, now let's get, I know this is tedious, this is big numbers, but we can do this. Okay, now we need to know where. So this is where is the median? Don't tell me what the median is. I know you know, but where will I find it? Kirsten, do you know where I'm going to find the median?
40th.
The 40th number, isn't it? Because Kirsten knows that you're going to take 0.5 or 1/2 or 50%, whatever you want to call it, 50% times the number of data plus 1. That's going to give you the location. So remember, this is the location. This is not the median. This is where I'm going to find the median. So that's where I'm going to find it. Now I got to go hunt it down. And so Kirsten told us where it is. It's in the 40th position. And then AJ knows what it is, though. What is the median? 19. And so counting along, you're like, okay, here's 20, here's 30, and then this right there is 40. So good. So this one here, it's this one. I know there's a ton of 19s, but that is in particular which one it is. Okay, we're almost done. Let's get this third quartile. So I need to know where is the third quartile. Blair, do you know where the third quartile is?
60.
It's the 60th. And how did you do that?
I got 0.75% times 79.
Perfect. So you take 75% of n plus 1. So we got that there. And that's going to be 60. So these are the locations. These aren't the answers. So don't tell me that the answer is 60. You're going to tell me that it's found in the 60th position. So now go count up, figure out where that 60th number is. And let's see, Alana, you know what number we're talking about, don't you?
For Q3.
For Q3, yeah.
20.
It is 20, and in particular, it's this 20 right there. So that's Q3, it's 20. Now, of course, the minimum, you can just read right there, is 16, and the maximum, it was nice of me to put it in order. In fact, I'll tell you, make a deal with you. On a quiz or a test, if there's a lot of numbers like this, I'll either put them in a table, or I'll put them like this, where they're arranged in order. I'm not going to mix them up, but a small data set, I will, jumble them up so that you have to put them in order, but only if it's a small number of data. Big data, there it is. Okay, so almost done. We're almost done for the day. The next thing we have to deal with is how we're going to represent this graphically. And as long as, I think it's hopefully sinking in how to do this. So what we're going to do, nope, we have one more number that we're interested in. Sorry. And that's what's called the interquartile range. The interquartile range is exactly what it sounds like. It is the difference between the quartiles. Once you have the quartiles, you have sort of a measure, or you can say how far things are spread out. So the quartiles, that's kind of like your typical data is going to be over to the quartiles. So the atypical data, the stuff that's unusual, that'll be beyond the quartiles. So the interquartile range just sort of tells you how bunched together the data is. You take quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Let me just do this for the two data sets we've done already. So back here, if you don't mind, the interquartile range, IQR, in this case, is going to be Q3 minus Q1, 20 minus 18, which is 2. 2 is a small number, which means that everyone, notice all those ages are all pretty close together. 2 is, so this just tells you how spread out things are. So everyone's kind of grouped together in the middle. And you might say, well, now that we have that, what use is it? Well, the use is, and I had it up there, I'll put that slide back up in just a minute, but what you use this for is you use it to figure out if there are outliers. Outliers are unusually low or unusually high data. So if you had someone in my class who was 8 years old, that would be unusual, I think we'd all agree. Or if we had someone up there who was 35 years old, that would be unusual. So how do we classify someone as being unusual? Well, what we do is we take that interquartile range, we multiply it by 1.5, and I'll put the slide back up in a minute, but I'll just do this here. So 1.5 times 2 is 3. So that's sort of going to be what we're going to use as our basis for determining that someone is unusual. And now here's how we actually do it. We go down here to quartile 1. So we figure out who is quartile 1. Oh, that's that 18-year-old. We say, is there anyone who is more than 3 years younger than you? So since these are ages, you go to quartile 1 and you say, is there anyone that's more than 3 years younger? If there is, they are going to be an outlier. So there isn't anyone like that here, is there? Yeah, because if you go down to the quartile 1, this 18-year-old, they'd say, okay, they'd have to be younger than 15 to be there are no 14-year-olds down here, are there? The youngest is 16. And then you do the same thing with the third quartile. You go up to the third quartile and you say, okay, is there anyone who is more than 3 years older than you? So this 3, it just tells you how far away from the middle, the middle being the bunch of people that are the quartiles. So what I would do is I would do this, Q1 minus 1.5 IQR. I know lots of letters, but it's not that complicated. So 18 minus 3 is 15, and that's going to be the cutoff. Anyone beyond that is unusual. And then Q3 plus 1.5 interquartile ranges is 20 plus 3, which is 23. So anyone beyond that is unusual. We have someone! Well, at least in this particular group. There's one person who's unusual. That one right there. There's an outlier. Outlier. So unusually high. It's not very high. I mean, it's just barely outside the typical range, but still. That's one of the uses for this. Let me go back. Oh, we only have 4 minutes. We can do this. Yeah, bear with me. So that's how, I won't do it for the other one. The last thing I really need to do this, is to show you about box plots. I mean, I think that this is going to give you the basis for doing it. I like Newton that it'll help you figure out what's going on. So let me just go back here. I'll explain how to make a box plot. It's really simple. So here's a box plot. I'll just explain it instead of showing you the PowerPoint. Is number one, make a number line. Make a number line for your data. So you might say, what do I mean by that? Well, here's the deal. My data here starts at 16 and ends at 24. And it's important that I make a number line for the data. And you know what a number line is. Oh, I don't have a ruler with me today. But you know what a ruler looks like. It's got centimeters or inches if you're backwards. But centimeters, and it's marked out in centimeters and they're even. You know how it's like nice and even? So here, I'll show you a good number line and then a bad number line, just to show you the contrast. Here's a good number line. Number one is make a number line. Here's a number line. I'm going to start at 16. I'm going to end at 24. And you might say, okay, well, that means 20 is in the middle. So notice that this is nice and even. So see, that's a good number line. You have even space. Oh, whoops. I got so excited and arrogant about my, whoops, I erased the wrong one, didn't I? So cocky about this. Sorry about that. Okay, there, that's better. Okay, so nicely, evenly spaced, counting by twos, I'm good. Here's a bad number line. Let me just show you, here, just a second. This is a typical thing that I'll see. Okay, here we go. So watch this, here we go. So I'll start at 16 again, I'll end at 24, and then I've got these two markings here, and I've seen people do this, 18, 19, 20. That's terrible. I mean, I hope you look at this and you say, no, because look, the gap here is 4, and then the gap here is 1, the gap there is 2. This is terrible. No. Okay, let's go back here. So that's number one. Number two, make a box. Box for the quartiles, Q1 to Q3. Okay, so here, where's my quartiles? Quartiles are 18 and 20. So from 18 to 20, I make a box, and I put it above the number line. Box. I know, we got 2 minutes. We're going to make it happen. Number three, put a line for the median. So by a line, I mean a vertical line. So I've got my box that goes from quartile 1 to quartile 3. Now I go find the median. There it is. It's 19. I put a line there. If you want to, you could put a 19 right there, just to emphasize, but I don't care if you do or not. As long as you have a number line, I can figure out that that's at 19. And then, number 4, you put, I'll just call it whiskers. Whiskers for the min and the max. So what's a whisker? Well, it looks something like this. This is sometimes called a box and whisker plot, and that's why I'm going to call it whiskers. I've run out of room. Let me fix this. Try again. For min and max. So it's just a line that goes off to the end there. Now just one last thing, and then you're done. One last thing, and that is that sometimes when there are outliers, what we do is instead of having the whisker go all the way to the end, to the max and min, we go to the interquartile range, like this. So 23, since that's the typical, like that's how far, we shouldn't go beyond that. And then any outliers, and there's one, any outliers, we would put a little circle. So you'll see that done quite a bit as well. So for me, if you go all the way, I'm not going to be picky. I'm happy if you can make your number line. Wow, that makes me so happy if you make it nice and even. Put your box, get your line, draw the whiskers. The whisker, if it goes all the way, is fine. If there are outliers, if we've talked about it, you can put a little circle there and just go up to the interquartile range, or 1.5 interquartile ranges. That would be fine too. So that's only if there are outliers. That's the only time I would truncate that whisker. Do your best with the homework. Do complain, though. Let me know if you're stuck on anything. I'll make videos. I'll stop. I've had someone come by last week, and I helped her do her homework. I will help you. I'm going to stop the recording, but do come talk to me if you want to.